Over the last few years, content marketing has become a bigger and bigger slice of marketing budgets, and being able to prove the ROI of that content to justify the budget has never been more important. I recently was engaged by Arizona's largest credit union to create an SEO-based content editorial calendar, and the results were phenomenal. Let's take a look.
We really loved working with you, Carrie. We started out creating our content or planning our content based on what we thought people were interested in. Um, but when we started working with you, we realized we really needed to hone in on what our key audiences wanted to know about, wanted to read. And that's been the most exciting thing, to now base our content more strategically on what our key audiences are interested in. Our goal going into the year was, we didn't want to make a goal that we couldn't reach, and our organic traffic had not been growing very much, and so we had a modest goal of growing at 10%. And when we started working with you, Carrie, you said, "Oh no, you're going to grow your traffic by a lot more than that when we get these keywords in place." And I'm really thrilled to report that, we just blew that 10% out of the water, and we grew our blogs by more than 100%.
And I have to say, I'm so proud of how tailored and targeted it is now to the decision process, whether it's related to a product like an auto loan or seeking a mortgage or changing banks. It's nuanced in a way that I think was the challenge that we came together to kind of resolve, because before we did the keyword analysis, you had fantastic content, but it had topics that were fairly generic. And now it's kind of sprinkled through with these topics that really answer they address the decision process people make related to those products. And it's just such a strong blog.
We had 28,000 organic page views. And this year we already have 57, well, almost 58,000. By the end of the day, we'll have 58,000.
Yeah. Is that site-wide or for a specific, like
That's
a blog
for
landing
blogs.
page? Oh, okay. Nice.
So yeah, so we've more than doubled.
When you launch new content that's optimized, the on-page SEO is there, it's written to specific keyword phrases, that traffic growth, the numbers can be very impressive, but when you whittle it down to your specific target audience, that's the value of keyword analysis, in my opinion, because I looked at Arizona traffic specific to your blogs, and these posts had increases of, 2,000% for some of them, 200, 300, 400, 500% was common. And that was specific to Arizona traffic. And that tells me that the content was successful, but we're reaching the local audience that we need to reach to help you grow revenue too, which is the real point of a keyword analysis project, is improving conversion and improving revenue. It's not about, improving keyword rankings. That's a nice side effect, but it's, are we growing revenue and are we making sales? Some of the challenges you were looking for keyword analysis to help solve was coming up with the right content topics and bringing in really the right target audience by understanding what they were searching for and how to use keywords around those topics to develop it out. And is that something you feel like we accomplished pretty well, meeting those challenges for you?
When we first met with you, we were just shooting in the dark, basically thinking, we were doing topics for each of our lines of business, our products, our services. And what we were doing was we were coming up with a topic, and then we were searching a keyword and then applying it. Now we really have a way better understanding of what our key audiences are searching for and what they're interested in. And we've been able to apply our blogs to those questions specifically. And we've been able to create more than 80 new blogs, but also update probably about as well the same amount of blogs, about 80 blogs, updating keywords.
Nice.
So much of our content now is really geared towards what people are interested in and what they're asking. And so we've been able to completely transform how we strategize our content.
I love that so much. And one of the things that I love about keyword analysis is how it really hones the focus on relevance for a brand. And I think, making the shift from assuming what members and prospective members want to read or learn about for content to knowing exactly what they want to know and what they need to make a decision to change banks, and providing that content is just a lovely shift in the sophistication of the content you're creating, because it's so focused on conversion and relevance.
The keyword research is the foundation of our content strategy now. And just being able to drill down into those different areas and see what the different audiences are looking for at different times. It has really just been the bedrock of our content strategy now. And it's really helped us grow not only readership, but new members. And it's helped us grow our, the EAT, the expertise, authority, and trust within our brand, which is really, really important to us.
Especially with Google's page experience update, being relevant with your content and crafting it to the right audience and making it, just really high value content has never been worth more than it is today in terms of how it impacts your overall on-page SEO. It's not just about keyword, research. It's about using that to write great content, and Google recognizes that and improves rankings. So it was a great project, and I'm thrilled with the impact it made.
One of the most interesting and exciting things that I learned throughout this process of working with you to really delve into our key audiences and what they were interested in is there are so many topics. There is so much content to be made. Beforehand, you just think, oh, there can't be more than 10 auto refinance blogs that could be written, but it's not true. There could be 100 auto refinance blogs that really answer every question and meet the needs of different audiences. And so I think that was the most interesting thing we learned, that there's just endless content that we can create. And it's just, what do we want to do first? And that's another thing that it helped us do, was prioritize those topics, like who's searching for what specifically, and how we can prioritize our content to, get the lowest hanging fruit first.
I love that. One of the interesting things about keyword research is how misunderstood it is, whether it's within the SEO community or website developers, is they allocate maybe an hour to keyword research. If you're building a new website or working on a content ed cal, they're like, okay, keyword research, I don't need much time for that. Let me do an hour. And I think, showcase throughout this project with our, 32 plus keyword clusters that we defined, and literally thousands of keywords for each one of those clusters, is how sophisticated you can get with your keyword analysis and marrying it to the right intent to make sure you're bringing in exactly the right audience at the right moment. Because if you devote an hour to keyword analysis, you'll get kind of the low-hanging fruit, those generic keywords, but those are the ones everyone is targeting and that there's too much content about. And when you divide it into clusters and really take a close look, do a deep analysis of what's in that cluster, because it's highly niche, right? It's drilled down. That's where the gold is when it comes to content, because that tells you, it's free market research. It tells you exactly what they're looking for, exactly what questions they have or concerns they have, why they're not buying or converting. I mean, it's a gold mine of data that so few brands either have the ability or the resources available to dive into. But that's where the magic really lies when it comes to conversion, is the deeper the dive you go, the more you find out and the more targeted you become.
Being able to strategize our content like this, it's exciting, because not only are we giving our key audiences what they want, which is what we want to do, we want to help them, but it also helps us convert and not only get new members, but increase adoption of our products and services from our new members as well as our existing members.
One of the interesting things about content marketing is that organic traffic to your website naturally grows, because as you add more content and you improve the SEO on your content, you integrate stronger keywords, the traffic grows. But what's relevant, if it's a company that is local or regional, like this credit union. It's an Arizona credit union. They're truly in the Phoenix metro area, and they've got branches in a certain number of cities in Arizona. So of course, traffic to the website that's in Arizona is likely to convert, but anybody outside of Arizona is really not relevant to them because they can't do business with this credit union. They're just not local. Or they could do digital banking, online banking, of course, but they're looking for changes in Arizona traffic. So once the project with me is concluded and content launches with the changes that I've recommended, keeping an eye on geo-targeting and conversion from that specific audience is really where I can see the true success of a project.
Our foundation that we've established with the keyword research, with the digital work, the SEO, SEM, everything that touches has allowed us to keep getting the results that we wanted. We have aggressive goals for 2022.
Good.
And we have a lot of work to do. We've come a long way in the last year from where we were. We were very, not hodgepodge per se, but we were very ad hoc. We were just like, hey, this sounds good. Let's do that. Where now everything we publish and everything that we put out there, is based in a decision around data and keyword analysis. And the results are showing that it's paying off. That analysis, I think, has been highly important and integral into what we're doing and where we're going. Where we've gotten to, I feel like without the work that you did, we wouldn't be where we're at.
One of the funny things about this particular case study is, like any major brand, they want 3 quotes before engaging with a new vendor, right? And so when I provided my keyword estimate, the lead gen team was tasked with coming up with 3 estimates. And what's funny is there really aren't any keyword analysts out there that are available on a consultant basis. There's plenty of SEOs, but most of those professionals don't have depth of experience in just keyword analysis. So they were not able to get 3 estimates because there aren't 3 people that provide exactly what I do. So if coming up with exactly the right keyword priorities is something that you feel could really impact your conversion on your website or for your content, then you can find me at carrymorgan.com, and I'd be happy to take a look at your assets and see if that's something that might help you.